Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Retail Insider. Joining me today is Sarah Jordan, CEO of Mastermind Toys. Thanks for joining us today, Sarah.
Thanks for having me, Mario.
Well, let's talk a little bit, first of all, about your private brand collection. Tell me a little bit about that and why it was launched.
Well, thanks for asking. Mastermind, as you know, started in 1984. We've grown to be Canada's authority on play. And one of the things when I joined Mastermind that I was always so impressed with was our curation. We always heard from vendors, from our partners, from our customers. The one thing that they loved about coming to Mastermind Toys was that they could trust us to have the best puzzles, games, books for kids of any age and stage. What many people don't know is that we also have our own trademarked Why Kids Play model. It hangs in my office. It looks like a beanstalk that's growing from the bottom to the top. And basically it recommends, it's trademarked based on child development, recommends toys, books, puzzles, and games based on a child's development of their body, mind, and expression. Now we've heard from our customers that that's what they rely on us for. And when we thought about what we could do in 2022 to elevate our brand, in 2021, we went on a digital transformation journey. When we thought about 2022 and hopefully returning more to normal, we thought, what could we do to elevate the Mastermind experience? And one of the things that came to mind was we've always had a lineup of exclusives, a lineup of toys that we put our own stamp of approval on, but we did it in a very quiet way. We didn't call it collections. We didn't have our brand front and center. We didn't actually create it that way. We had a bunch of classics throughout our stores, but as a consumer, you would really have to go on a scavenger hunt to search for them. So for 2022, we decided that we were going to go after our own namesake collection of toys called Mastermind Toys, made by Mastermind Toys, designed here in Canada, and start launching them as part of collections. Now, we wanted to figure out what the perfect moment would be. We thought the holidays, there was so much excitement already around the holidays that we wanted to correspond it with one of our play guides. In the past, we've always done just one play guide around the holiday, but this year and last year, we started launching play guides around the different season, spring, summer, back to school. And one thing that surprised us last year was the success of our back to school guide. Mastermind has always been known as the educational toy store. And so we felt that launching our namesake private brand collection would coincide very well with the launch of our play guide, which you can see beside me here, coming from the Mastermind Playroom in Toronto.
All right, super. Now, you recently brought on board Sarah Lowry, I hope I pronounced the name right, head of the private brand. Tell me a little bit about her background and her role in this.
Well, Sarah Lowry is a leader in the private brand space and has had her touch on many iconic Canadian brands, from HBC Stripes to the Indigo home line. She certainly knows the Canadian consumer. What's so exciting about what Sarah wanted to accomplish with Mastermind Toys was that she really understood what makes Mastermind special. With our private brand, and there's lots of different philosophies on private brand, but for us, it was about staying true to who we are. Educational toys with an eye and a priority on sustainability, classic toys that can be passed from generation to generation, but also toys that really support what our play experts love talking about in our store. Let me give you an example. We know right now kids love wearing these snap bracelets that they put on their wrists, but ours is not only something trendy that kids can wear to school. On the back of it, there's a ruler, which only Mastermind Toys would think about making trend meet educational. And so that's what Sarah was really passionate about. She joined us in December of last year. Our big launch was the back to school collection, and we have some great new additions, especially of some wooden doll houses, some wooden arts and craft tables that will come to the Mastermind Toys just in time for the holiday season.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about the holiday season, but obviously prior to the holiday season, we have back to school. What are you expecting from consumers in terms of shopping this year for back to school, and then obviously for the holiday season?
Well, certainly consumers have gotten savvy through the pandemic. And one thing they know is that they need to shop early. So pre-pandemic, and I'm talking about the holidays here, we noticed this trend pre-pandemic of people shopping later and later, closer to the milestone holidays. And during the pandemic, certainly customers were very savvy that they needed to shop early, especially because they wanted to make sure they had the gift for under the tree, but also they wanted to make sure they had the gift. They were very aware of the supply chain challenges. Mario, I'm predicting predicting that this holiday season is going to look like last year's, where customers are going to shop early. We have our signature Grandparents' Day event, which is the first Tuesday of every month. And at our August Grandparents' Day, our grandparents were asking to wrap some items in our holiday print. Gift wrap is free in our store every day. And say they were asking for the holiday print in August. And that was the same thing they were doing last year. The other thing that we're noticing is that digital is really being used to secure the top items. So while our doors are open, we've been so excited to welcome back Canadian kids and families into our stores to see our larger than life demos, to see our window displays. So 2022 has really allowed us to be the toy store where we can create all these moments of wonder. But we're noticing that our customers are still relying on the digital channels, whether it's curbside or web, for the sought after items, whether it's a new Lego launch, whether it's the hottest item of the season. They're not waiting to get to the store to see if we still have the magic mixie. They're ordering it online to make sure that they can have it. So we're certainly seeing the digital shopper act differently than the in-store shopper, but we are seeing that consumer who is very savvy, who is shopping early to make sure they have their most coveted wish list.
Now, before I forget, Sarah, you recently, Mastermind Toys, were honored with an award with the Retail Council of Canada. Tell me a little bit about that and what that meant for you guys as a company.
Well, anytime you're recognized, it's certainly a massive boost for the team. And really, this is all thanks to the amazing marketing team that we have. We won a marketing award for our brand campaign called Let's Play. It was really not about product. It was not about trying to sell items. What it was about was telling the Mastermind story, which I've been passionate about telling since I joined. Mastermind has never done a brand campaign. We've always been your local neighborhood toy store, but we have the muscle of being nationwide, 69 stores coast to coast. And Mario, one of the things that's been so exciting for me personally at Mastermind Toys is telling that story to more Canadians. When I think about the brand story that we told, we are a purpose-driven organization. We are Canada's authority on play. Our purpose is to inspire generations of lifelong learners through the power of play. And so when we thought about the brief for this brand campaign, it was really about from the moment you start watching these kids starting to play in a park and all of these different types of kids that truly represent all different abilities and all different colors of Canada. What we wanted to see was we wanted everyone to already know it was Mastermind Toys. You didn't need to wait for the logo at the end or the call to action at the end that says, the world needs more play. Let's play Mastermind Toys. We wanted people to have that feeling that it could be no other toy retailer but Mastermind through this brand campaign. And we accomplished that. But more so than winning the award, I think what it really was for Mastermind was a recognition that over the last 38 years, we have become a beloved brand in Canada, that we stand more for just toys. We are very proudly one of the only juvenile companies in the world that does not curate or display our toys or our products based on gender. We really take it to heart that we are going to impact the next generation and think about the inclusivity of our books, to the play patterns that we promote, to showing girls playing with Lego or boys playing with dolls. And so this brand campaign and this award is not just a recognition of a particular moment, but really of 38 years of being an industry leader worldwide in our category, but also a beloved brand in Canada. So thanks for acknowledging that. That's nice to hear from you.
All right, super. Let's talk about stores. You mentioned 69 right now. Are there plans for future growth and the addition of more stores?
But we certainly have more markets in Canada where we would love to plant doors. The last 2 years have been tricky to try and understand when real estate is going to be open. And so we're certainly continuing to follow our customer to look for those opportunities. So I'll give you a hint that in 2023 and beyond, you can expect to see more Mastermind Toys across Canada and certainly in pockets where we've just recently joined. So if you think about some of our eastern or our western provinces, we're fairly new in some of those places, and maybe there are some additional locations where it would make sense.
All right, super. Let's talk a little bit about yourself. Sarah, how long have you been with the company?
I joined Mastermind Toys in January of 2020, which I know looking back now seems like quite spectacular timing. So I'm almost at my 3-year mark at Mastermind Toys, and it has been an unbelievable privilege to be the leader of this organization. I joined with a strategy to transform the brand, to lead the organization on a digital reinvention, to bring our curation to life in more places like in private brand, but also to elevate the employee experience, because I deeply believe that employee experience drives customer experience. And over the last 2.5 years, I could not have predicted the twists and turns, and leading basically my first 18 of 24 months, we were closed, temporarily closed due to the pandemic, but it's been an unbelievable learning experience for me, Mario. I feel very privileged as a leader to have this opportunity to lead Mastermind. And when I look back over the last 2.5 years, I think about the tremendous impact that the organization has had, not only in retail in Canada, but also to all of the parents, educators, grandparents who needed Mastermind support as they transform their backyards into recess and their front lawns into art galleries with sidewalk chalk and their sidewalks into birthday parades. So it's been an incredible 2.5 years.
So what were you doing before Mastermind Toys?
Well, I'm a chemical engineer by training. I'm an engineer and MBA. I started my career for the first 10 years in Boston Consulting Group. And my expertise there was really leading customer and digital transformations for Fortune 500 retailers and financial services organizations. Directly previous to Mastermind Toys, I worked at Scotiabank as their Senior Vice President of Customer Experience and Channels. So quite the non-traditional chapters to lead to being a CEO of a beloved brand in Canada. But what I can tell you is through all those chapters, while from the outside it might not look like the traditional path to becoming a retail CEO, I can share with you that I played to my strengths during all of those chapters and built the best team around me to round out what I was bringing to the organization.
And what do you like about retail?
I love the pace of retail. I love the energy that comes from always interacting with the customer. I love the innovation that can happen in retail, from how you serve a customer, how do you talk to a customer, but also the impact that a retailer can have. When I think about the role that we play in kids' lives, from the moment they come into our stores to get a free perks, maybe a hoodie hounds on their birthday, to also seeing grandparents think about the gift that they're going to give to their grandkids, to the role we play with educators. The interactions that you have as a retailer compared to other industries is constant, and the pace is energizing. And there's no industry in the world that leads innovation more than retail. When I think about what retailers had to do in Canada during the pandemic to manage through the twists and turns of keeping your doors open or closed, think about curbside that got reinvented, thinking about windows that became the new impulse aisle, to your associates who got the opportunity to work in a different way, not only from your warehouse, but to your head office. I could go on, but the pace of retail certainly matches my natural energy level. And I love the people who work in retail because they are constantly in service of the customers. And at least at Mastermind, the bar is always to strive to deliver moments of wonder.
All right, super. Now, Sarah, you mentioned a couple of times the pandemic. I'm curious, as a retailer and as a major retailer in Canada, what lessons do you think you learned through this 2.5 year period, the challenging period that we've had?
Well, certainly for Mastermind, we learned that it was really important to always be coming back to our purpose in terms of decision making. So Mastermind Toys was one of the first predominantly bricks and mortar retailer in Canada to close. And when I made that decision, Mario, on behalf of the leadership team, we were really using our purpose statement as why we would be closing our doors. We serve kids, grandparents, expecting parents. We have our employees coast to coast, who we affectionately call, because they deserve it, play experts. And so really one of the lessons in leadership that I learned was to always be purpose driven. Whether you're in a moment of crisis, a moment of growth, it's really important that as an organization, you lean on your purpose and your brand has strong values to guide you during those moments. I also learned as a leader that it's really important to have a strategy even while you're firefighting, and not to abandon that. When I think about the boulders that I came in to move at Mastermind, from digital to brand recognition to our curation and private brand, it was really important not to lose sight of that as we were managing the various restrictions coast to coast, the ever-changing conditions under which we were operating. And the other lesson I learned was the power of your employees. Now, I've always been a strong believer that employee experience drives customer experience. But it's really important that when you're trying to drive innovation, that innovation comes from those who are closest to the customer, whether they're in your warehouse fulfilling orders or they're the play experts in your stores. And we really tapped into that, Mario, during the pandemic. We launched a new application called Nudge so that all of our store experts coast to coast could interact and share ideas. What is the hottest trend in toys? What are kids using for recess? What is the hot new item for the holidays? And we were able to use our play experts to help us co-create our new curbside offering, how we were going to have digital meets physical. We have a dedicated space in our store called the Woohoo HQ, where our customers have a fast service lane to pick up their curbside orders. But all of these innovations, even our signature Grandparents' Day, all started because a play expert felt empowered to share that feedback. And so I think about a tried and true leadership lesson of building the best team, but also empowering your team to deliver more. For me, it really solidified during the pandemic. Mario, we were closed for 18 of 24 months, including my first holiday at Mastermind Toys from Black Friday into January of 2021. We were closed more days in 2021 than 2020. But I think about the momentum that Mastermind achieved coming out of the pandemic. It is all thanks to our play experts. I know that while we were managing the pandemic, so were our play experts in terms of the individuals they were caring for, whether it was kids that they were remote learning or elderly parents that they were keeping safe. And at the same time, the Mastermind Toys play experts showed up every day for Mastermind. And when I think about what we achieved relative to other retailers, it's the passion and dedication of our people. And the leadership lesson for me in all of that is what a great privilege it is to be a leader of an organization where you can empower your people and believe in them, give them the opportunity to go for it and to come out of the pandemic stronger and really set the condition and the culture for innovation, but also for risk taking.
All right, super. Well, thanks very much, Sarah, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Always happy to be part of the Retail Insider conversation.
All right, super. That was Sarah Jordan, CEO of Mastermind Toys. I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Retail Insider. Thanks for joining us today.